To this new episode of the Alex Show TV. This episode is from November the 7th of the year 2025. Today is a Friday, and today's show we're going back a little bit. I'm sorry about that. It's gonna be a great show. Believe me, I have great support video, 2 clips to watch. The Dark Rulers of the Astral Plane. We go back to the Archons. We go back. Remember, we spoke last month and the past few months. We saw everything in the story of Yalba Daoth and the story of the Demiurge and the story of the different Archons. And we had a very long show explaining about the different Archons that they take over the celestial bodies that are visible from planet Earth. Remember, Mercury, Venus, Mars, the Moon, the Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn. Okay. However, I think it's very important also to mention, especially after the great chat I had that is now on both channels with Patrick Vargas from Chile. You probably saw that early October, like a month ago here on the Alex Show TV. And that was in September in El Show de Alex.tv. That was the original interview. And it was ported, let's see it like that, dubbed, or however you want to call it, with the excellent technology of Hagen to this channel that I'm now bringing Spanish chats dubbed with artificial intelligence. As you can see, the result is excellent. It's very understandable. So that chat, you haven't seen it. This like mandatory after this one, spoke how Patrick, through his interdimensional hypnosis, he's able to go into the astral and actually go back to the point. Time is different in the astral, okay? It's not relevant. It's not like this physical dense reality that time is sequential and is aligned. In the astral, you can go back and forth seamlessly. And he goes back in this interdimensional hypnosis to the point that you have actually made arrangements or made contracts or made limiting beliefs or made promises to these rulers of the astral, which are not only archons, but all these kind of different species, like the ones we were seeing in a few weeks ago when I was talking about extraterrestrial or stellar species, such as the insectoids, draconians, reptiloids, and some others, Anunnakis and that. I believe especially those three, insectoids, reptilians, and draconians, and many others, are present in the astral, and that they work in synergy together, and they work for the archons or with the archons to really get you in that realm as well. They get you in the physical, but they also get you in the astral, in the etherical dimension that I say is important, is attached here to Earth, is part of this reality. I do believe when we go to sleep and we will lose consciousness, or when we are in the state of an interdimensional hypnosis and we lose consciousness and we go to the unconscious, we access the astral, and that's why a lot of people say sleep is not a good thing, that we shouldn't sleep as much, that we should be very careful of how we sleep, we should be careful to monitor our dreams, because we are in contact with these beings. I do believe we always have our light, and Patrick Vargas agrees that when you are faced with these situations in the astral, you have to show your light. You have to show your light. That's the way you protect yourself. I don't agree, honestly, I don't agree with the ones that say we should fight these beings at their same level. I think we show our light and show we're non-fighters and show we deal about things in a different way. So we have 2 clips to watch. Let's start with the first one. This is a little bit repetitive. That is the story of the archons that probably you already know through my previous videos. Especially the second one is going to really bring how they work in the astral, how they work in this realm, and how they are the dark rulers, in a way, of the astral plane.
Did you know that there are beings on the astral plane who could be controlling your destiny without you even knowing it? In this video, we will unravel the enigma of the Archons, the mysterious and powerful rulers of the astral plane. We will reveal who they are, what they seek, and how their hidden influence could be affecting your daily life. Make sure to watch until the end to discover amazing techniques that will help you defend yourself from their control and unlock your true potential. Origins and Gnostic context. The Archons are entities that appear in various esoteric and mystical traditions, particularly within Gnosticism. Their role and nature may vary depending on the source, but they are generally considered powerful and often malevolent beings who have a significant influence on human life and the structure of the cosmos. Gnosticism is a set of religious beliefs and practices that emerged in the first centuries of the Common Era. It is characterized by the idea that salvation is achieved through spiritual knowledge, gnosis, and by a dualistic view of the universe. According to the Gnostics, the material world is seen as a flawed and corrupt creation, a trap designed to imprison the divine spirit that resides within human beings. This dualistic view stands in stark contrast to many other religious traditions that regard the physical world as a divine and perfect creation. In Gnosticism, the archons are described as cosmic powers or entities that serve the demiurge, the creator of the material world. The demiurge, unlike the benevolent and omniscient God of Christianity, is seen by the Gnostics as an ignorant or even malevolent being. From this perspective, the demiurge has created the physical universe as a prison for souls, and his agents act as the guardians of this prison, maintaining order. These beings are described in various ways in Gnostic texts. In some cases, they are depicted with monstrous and terrifying forms, symbolizing their corrupt nature and their connection to the material world. They are often attributed with the ability to manipulate the thoughts, emotions, and actions of human beings, diverting them from their spiritual quest and keeping them focused on the material world and its fleeting pleasures and pains.
Okay, so as I mentioned, in a way, this is kind of expected, and I'm not the bearer of bad news or anything like that. It's just, of course, if they control the physical world, control air quotes, because again, all reactions feed that control. So as long as you understand how the game works, you're going to be fine, in my opinion. It's difficult not to react, but if you really make it a discipline, you're going to be fine every day as much. I'm not saying you're going to be rich, full of health, feeling happy, like Brock happy, like, you know, when when you're out there on a beach or something like that every day. But you're going to be at peace, and you're going to be, especially when you understand how this reaction mechanism works, that they're pushing us, they're constantly puncturing us, trying to get the reactions or rage or fear, those two especially, or lust, yes, the sexual part. They're trying to feed our desires. They're trying to make us addicted to these pleasures of the material world. If we understand how to react, we actually can enjoy some of the pleasures without giving them a lot of energy or giving this reaction they're seeking. But when you become addicted to these pleasures, then is when you get in trouble. Okay. So this was the second clip. Again, I don't want to make this a long one. It's just kind of a complementary episode to all the episodes we had on the archons and all that they operate in the physical world and they operate in the etherical world. And yes, understanding these two things is very important, because I said, remember the episodes I had on sleep? I had a 6-show series on sleep, and how one of the 6 was the 5 minutes before going to sleep. You set yourself up to be fine, okay? If you go to sleep in a very convoluted way, in a very rageful way, you're upset of something that happened to you, you're thinking about someone, you're setting yourself up that the dark rulers of the astral plane are going to come knocking, okay? And then if you're in this rageful state, you might want to react and try to fight them. And I'm not saying, again, nothing of this is absolute. You're not going to be possessed, or you're not going to be destroyed, nothing like that. But I don't know if it has happened to you. It has happened to me, and it has happened to a few people I've talked, that you wake up sometimes, you feel very tired, and you have actual graces in you, like someone scrapping you, like a dog scrapped you. Probably what happened that night, in the astral, you had a few fights, okay? You had a few fights. So if you're laughing right now because it has happened to you, that happens, doesn't mean you wake up and you're destroyed and you have to go to the hospital. No. I'm just saying, if you set yourself off, you have the discipline and preparation to understand that even the dream state, you have to prepare it a little bit. It's not just closing your eyes and going to sleep. Trust me, it's just not that. There's something else. You're actually going to benefit from going to the astral. And these beings, trust me, they're going to steer clear from you. Not because they're afraid of you, because they say it's not going to work with him or her. It's not going to work. So let's look for someone else that is prepared for a fight. Hope it makes sense. Let's watch the second clip, and I'll give you my final thoughts on the show, The Dark Rulers of the Astral Plane.
Within Gnosticism, it is believed that the archons operate in a strict hierarchy, with each level being further removed from the true divinity. This hierarchy is used to explain how these entities exert control and dominate different aspects of the cosmos and human experience. The demiurge is at the top of this hierarchy, acting as the false god that the Gnostics seek to unmask. Their subordinates play specific roles to maintain the order of the material world and prevent human souls from attaining gnosis and becoming free. The influence of these entities on human life manifests in various ways. They can sow doubt, fear, and confusion, diverting people from their spiritual quest and keeping them trapped in the cycle of suffering and reincarnation. Some accounts suggest that these entities can even cause physical and mental illnesses, acting as energetic parasites that feed on human suffering. Characteristics and functions of the Archons. The Archons are considered the jealous guardians of the material world. Their main mission is to keep souls trapped in the cycle of incarnation, preventing them from discovering the spiritual knowledge necessary for liberation. This knowledge, known as gnosis, is the key to escaping the cosmic prison created by the demiurge. These beings act as spiritual jailers, reinforcing the chains that bind souls to the physical world through subtle and sometimes direct influences, which perpetuate the cycle of suffering and reincarnation. Acting as intermediaries between the demiurge and humanity, the Archons carry out the will of the creator of the material world. In this role, their goal is to maintain the established order in the physical cosmos. They implement the laws and restrictions that govern material existence, ensuring that souls remain ignorant of their true divine nature. The Archons are seen as diligent enforcers of a cosmic system intended to perpetuate the demiurge's control over creation. In the deeper interpretations of Gnosticism, the Archons possess the ability to manipulate human perception. They create illusions and distractions designed to divert souls from their quest for gnosis. These illusions can take the form.
Okay, so I think that's, again, a little bit repetitive material. I apologize for that. But it gave me enough to do this show that, yes, it's not only through your day that you need to be disciplined and careful of your reaction, it's also night when you sleep. And that can be achieved through that connections in the 5 minutes before you go to sleep, as you prepare your soul, which is the one that goes to sleep, goes to the astral, the soul, which is the kind of the encapsulator of the spirit, which is a different thing. To prepare the soul to go to sleep, okay? Physical body, you are here consciously on this physical reality. The soul, also called etherical body, also called astral body, is your body out there in the astral. And that's the body you access when you sleep. Even, please, whatever say astral travels and that, everyone astral travels when you sleep. You go to the astral. And that's why a lot of people have dreams, and sometimes there are nightmares, and sometimes they remember fighting in those nightmares, and they remember the stress of those nightmares. Well, you're fine. You wake up, you're fine. Same as you had a hard day in the astral sleeping, and you wake up even with kind of, if a dog has grabbed you and that, you had a rough night. That's it. Nothing more. Similar to having a rough day here on that conscious reality. Just assume out there in your job, you had a day, stress, and something happened, and you're failing your customers, and you had a meeting with your boss, and it was stressful, and he shouted. And yes, those kind of days. And then you go out and traffic, and then you go home, and there are other kind of problems, and there are bills to pay, and the wife is telling you stuff, and problems at school with your kids. Yes, that kind of day. You can also have this is a show. This is different because this is a show specifically talking about the astral. When do you access the astral? When you go to sleep. I know there are a lot of people that watch the astral or can go into the astral consciously. Yes. Those are the kind of people you heard. I don't want to call them witches or anything like that, or mediums, but those are the kind of people that, like the movie, remember that one? I see that people, yes, they see that people, because in the astral is when disembodied beings, beings that have physically died, they lose the physical body, they go to the astral and they're attached to their previous persona, their previous reality. they become disembodied beings. They actually roam the astral, and they usually end up in the lower astral, because they're attached to the physical reality. Some say that they know they have died, they think they're alive, and they're trying to find their way back. Like they're trying to, and that's why they usually manifestate. For example, this what is called ghost or poltergeist, these kind of things. They manifestate in their home. They manifestate in the place they pass. Let's say they had an accident, a car accident or something like that. And very common. You probably heard all those stories. Oh, this girl that died in an accident, you can see her sometimes out there in the road. Yes, she's trying to come back. She hasn't understand that she's in the astral. She's in a temporary dimension attached to this reality. She's a disembodied being. She has a soul. She has a spirit, but she doesn't have a body. She's trying to go back to the body. That's impossible. The body is, who knows, dissolved, and that just doesn't happen. That's the concept of zombies, and that just doesn't happen. Okay, so in a way, understanding the astral, I apologize. They don't want to talk. They don't want me to talk about this. Whenever I'm trying to say something important, this cough comes up lately, and I believe it's a program. Okay, but I'm fine. Fine. Sorry about that. It's very important to understand the astral. I'm not saying it's important on its own. It's important to understand. First of all, it's a temporary dimension. You are not supposed to be there for a long time. So yes, what happens is when you physically die in this area, you go to the astral. Yes. The next step is very important. You're going to be approached. That's the reincarnation trap, also called reincarnation cycle, etc. You're going to be approached and asked to review your life. That's a judgment. And first of all, always be aware of your light, of your spirit. Your light is your spirit, okay? And always be, when you're going to go into the astral, have that on, okay? Don't be thinking about who you were. That's gone. You're gone. That's gone. Okay. Just think of where you're going. And so if you I believe you prepare your whole life for the moment you go into the astral, and these rulers come and they try to trick you, they're not going to make it. Okay. They're not going to be able to trick you if you understand who you are. And then what happens is the soul is part of this reality. The soul is part of where the spirit stays in this physical reality. You're going to leave your soul behind. You're going to become pure spark, pure spirit, pure divine spark, and you're going to leave this plane. Doesn't matter if there is a dome, what you have heard, flat earthers, there's a dome, you cannot leave, no one can come in, no one can leave. I don't know. No, you can, but you have to be convinced of what you are. And the message of this channel for almost 4 years now, as you can see in the bottom left corner there, especially if you're watching a PC, in a cell phone, it's a little bit difficult to make that out. Discover who you are. Discover who you are. You're a divine spark, that's the spirit. That divine spark is inside of an astral body, that's your soul. And that soul is within you in your physical world when you are this physical body. You leave back the physical body, you leave back your soul, you become pure spirit, and you leave this system. That's the best advice. I'm giving you the lottery here. I'm giving you the lottery. I hope you listen to that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for watching the show. Have a great weekend. Take care. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover your true self. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and to serve others. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover your true self? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to the universe. Simply ask, who am I? Where do I come from? What is my purpose? You'll start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about this reality start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering your true self equals to real freedom. Your self-imposed limits will fall and you will be ready to understand this reality, but you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will set up a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, lust, envy, violence, justice through violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions are only your egoic mind and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Thank you very much for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@thealexshow.tv. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.thealexshow.tv. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very